What are beats? Well, besides being a delicious vegetable, beats are the main pulses found in music. Composers can organize the beats in music many different ways. In order to tell the musicians how the beats are organized, they write a time signature at the beginning of the piece of music. In music, a time signature, or meter, is how we organize the beats of music, and the tempo tells us the speed of the beats. The tempo can be fast, slow, or somewhere in between. The first part of organizing beats is to find the number of beats per measure. In a duple meter, there are 2 beats per measure. There is a strong beat followed by a weak beat. In a triple meter, there are 3 beats per measure. There is a strong beat followed by 2 weak beats. In a quadruple meter, there are 4 beats per measure. There's a strong beat followed by a weak beat followed by a less strong beat followed by a weak beat. The second part of organizing beats is to see if the beat can be divided into 2 parts or 3 parts. In a simple meter, the beat can be divided equally into 2 parts. If the beat is a half note, the half note can be divided equally into 2 quarter notes. If the beat is a quarter note, the quarter note can be divided equally into 2 eighth notes. In a compound meter, the beat can be divided equally into 3 parts. If the beat is a dotted quarter note, the beat can be divided equally into 3 eighth notes, and if the beat is a dotted eighth note, the beat can be divided into 3 16th notes. So how does all this information help us identify time signatures in music? Time signatures are made up of 2 numbers, a top number and a bottom number. The number on the bottom tells us the type of note that the time signature is referring to. A 4 is a quarter note, an 8 is an eighth note, a 16 is a 16th note, and a 32 is a 32nd note. The top number tells us how many of these notes are in a measure. For example, in 2/4 time, the top note tells us that there are 2 notes per measure, and the bottom note tells us that they are quarter notes. This is a duple meter because there are 2 beats per measure, and since the beat, in this case a quarter note, can be divided equally into 2 parts, this is a simple meter, so we can say that 2/4 is a simple duple meter. Let's take another example. In 9/8 time, the top number tells us that there are 9 notes per measure, and the bottom number tells us that they are eighth notes. This is a triple meter because there are 3 beats per measure, and since the beat, in this case a dotted quarter note, can be divided equally into 3 parts, this is a compound meter. So we can say that 9/8 time is a compound triple meter. I'll put more examples in the blog post that I'll link to at the end of the video. We can summarize all this information in a nice little grid. We can have simple and compound on one side, and have duple, triple, and quadruple on the other. This grid shows that we can have a simple duple meter like 2/4, a simple triple meter like 3/4, a simple quadruple meter like 4/4, a compound duple meter like 6/8, a compound triple meter like 9/8, and a compound quadruple meter like 12/4. There are also a few special time signatures you should know about. 4/4 time is also referred to as common time, and is written as a letter C where the time signature would be. 2/2 time is also referred to as cut time and is written as a letter C with a line down the middle. You can also have a time signature that doesn't fall into any of these categories, but that's a video for another day. Thanks for watching, be sure to subscribe and check out the blog post for more examples of the time signatures we talked about today. If you want to help support this channel, you can check out our online store to see all the awesome shirts and posters.